The end of the year is nigh. All that was alive and green now turns to a dark red, a bloody red. A red that activates our fear, making us all crazy. To properly channel this fear, we release it through the consumption of horror media. Nerdporial and a special guest will have a special discussion during this time to ward off evil for all its pain and pleasure. Nerdporial humbly welcomes you to Season 2 of the Serial Horror Chat. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of Serial Horror Chat. And with me, I'm lucky to get him. What happened to Fanzcene? Fanzcene just dropped. Where'd he go? Well, hopefully he'll be back. So what's up, guys? Thanks for being here. I know Steve is doing his. I think Steve is still doing his live stream and everything. 100 viewers. Damn, that's nuts. I'm hoping to get 10 for this. So, but what's up, Staple Bow and Dempsey? What's up? Thank you guys for being here and all that. So, yeah, we're going to be talking. Okay, so Fanzine's internet was cut out. So, all right, no problem, man. Just do what you got to do. So, yeah, I figured, we would start talking about American Werewolf in London. That was another classic that I have not covered last year. So I figure, with Fanzine, we covered mainly Joe Dante's The Howling, which also came out in 81. We covered Gremlins for the Christmas season, and this is his third time here. Obviously, I felt American Werewolf in London, this being a horror comedy, figured this would be best to hang out with Fanzine. Fanzine, if you haven't known, Fanzine is a great channel. He does a lot of physical media. He does a lot of physical media streams and videos. And he was in Search of Darkness, and he was in the latest In Search of Darkness. So definitely check him out. Definitely subscribe to his channel and all that. And Greg's back. So
sorry. My internet has been doing that to me a lot lately. At least once a day, it just drops out and cuts me out of streams.
That's fine. No, it's all right. I was plugging your channel. So yeah, I had nothing but good things to say. I was telling everybody that you were in Search of Darkness, and oh my god.
We're not talking Jason tonight. It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that, and I was like, maybe I should have done that. But I think I might have told you this. I actually think Mrs. Voorhees is more terrifying than Jason. I mean, Jason's terrifying, but I think Mrs. Voorhees is even scarier. I don't know why. It's I don't know. That's why I have her in the intro. So,
she is pretty scary.
Yeah, and especially like the help me, I was just like, I thought that was like I literally thought that was a little kid when I first saw that, and that just creeped the hell out of me when the girl's trying to sleep in the cabin and she goes out there. And
yeah,
we don't see that, unfortunately, but then again, Sean S. Cunningham only had a limited budget on that one. So
Sean S. Cunningham's a dick in real life. So.
Is he? Is he? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, despite the fact, one thing I do respect about him is that he's honest about like how he made Friday the 13th. He's like, yeah, we watched Halloween, huh?
He lies a lot.
Yeah, sure. That's.
But yes, he is telling the truth. He watched Halloween and he wanted to capitalize off of it. So he hired Dick Miller, I believe it was, to write Friday the 13th. And
Dick Miller? Oh, you mean Dick Miller? Victor Miller.
Yeah, and that's why they've been fighting ever since over the rights. The rights have been split now because of that.
Yeah, because I remember that was the reason why they didn't come out with more Friday the 13th movies after the 2009 one. So
yeah,
but yeah, we're here to talk about American Werewolf in London. I'll be honest. I first rented this on VHS when I was a teenager. I first became aware of this movie because I used to read the TV Guide all the time, especially with that came with the Chicago Tribune or the Chicago Sun-Times. Every Sunday there would be a TV Guide in both of those newspapers, the TV Preview and the TV Week, I believe they were called. So I would read what the cable movies were just to get an idea of what was being played on cable, because we didn't have cable, so it was just like it was a dream of mine to have cable and watch a whole bunch of movies.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really good with years, because every time I'd read the movie, there'd always be the year and what the Roger Ebert, how many stars out of 4 there would be and all that. But I became aware. I saw American Werewolf in London. It actually had a high score for a horror movie compared to most horror movies, which get like 1 star usually. But this one got 3 stars. I also saw it. My parents used to love NBC and watch Dateline all the time. The one with Stone Phillips, Stone Phillips, one that Shatner, if you ever seen The Rock from the Sun, the giant head. Yeah. So they used to have like, oh, what happened in 1981? And they were like, oh, this movie, American Werewolf in London, came out. And it was the first time I ever saw the famous Rick Baker transformation sequence.
Oh yeah, the greatest. I actually still have them, the VHS.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's my original VHS I grew up with as a kid. I still have it.
The one thing I miss, and I used in one of my videos. I actually found VHS footage of Dirty Harry, and I used that to kind of talk about how I got into the movie, how I found the VHS in my dad's collection, my dad's pile of movies, and I showed that where like the movie was kind of stretched a little bit and everything. So I thought I kind of want to do something similar with some other retro films and all that. So. But yeah, like, how did you first see American Werewolf in London?
I believe I saw it on cable when I was a kid. I'm trying to remember, because I know I didn't rent it right away. So that's like a lot of my stuff with what I saw. I saw it late night on cable, staying up with my brothers when we shouldn't have been. So that's usually how I saw all my horror movies. So I believe I think I may have saw it on HBO or something when I was like maybe 10 or 11, and then I had the VHS. I bought the VHS. I can get the VHS, but it'd take me a minute. It's over there. I actually have my original VHS copy I've had since I was a kid. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a question. One thing that intrigued me when I first saw this, because I was expecting this to be just a straight, brutal horror movie, but then you realize this is directed by John Landis, and of course this was before the infamous decapitation of
in Twilight Zone.
What was his name? Vic Morrow in the Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah.
I saw the Twilight Zone movie. I saw that first segment, and then I read about the movie. And I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, damn! Like I can only imagine. Like I don't know how he recovered his career after that. Like that's insane.
It took a while. As far as I remember, it took a while.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I did see that he made post that was I think he did Trading Places. I love Trading Places. But I think the best movie he did, and you're gonna probably lynch me for this, Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Beverly Hills Cop 3 is the worst of the bunch.
I know, and I still love it. I still love it.
By that point.
Yeah,
and Eddie Murphy hated each other.
Yeah, what's so weird? That movie is just batshit ridiculous.
I mean, who
makes an appearance in that movie? George Lucas. George Lucas and Uncle Scrooge. The owner of that park is Uncle Scrooge. That's Alan Young. I didn't realize that at first, but yeah. It's ridiculous. That was, and I saw. I think I was 9. I was 9 or 10 when that came out. And my parents actually took me to see it. There was nothing inappropriate in that movie. Honestly, just it's just swearing and poor Inspector Todd dies. Spoiler alert. So
yeah.
And are you looking forward to Beverly Hills Cop on Netflix?
George Lucas is in your chat.
No, just brought up George Lucas. Yeah,
he knows. He sees all. I've heard some things. I can't say. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I'll give it a watch, but I don't have my expectations set too high.
Yeah, same here with Netflix. When it comes to Netflix, you have to really sell me. You have to really. I mean, I basically assume the worst when it comes to Netflix
Well, to be
nowadays and
honest,
everything.
I don't really do streaming, so
Yeah, that too.
it's hard. It's hard to. Well, it's not hard. It's actually pretty easy to find these new movies, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. So I figure with this, I one thing that I noticed, I was doing a little research before this. So apparently, Landis wrote this as early as like 1969 or something, or like this was one of the first things he ever wrote,
Yeah.
and it was interesting because I don't know if horror comedy was ever really a thing before this. I mean, the only movie I can think of was Last House on the Left, which was Sean Cunningham and Wes Craven.
Yes, horror comedy was before this. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Okay, that's true. Yeah,
That is
that's
horror
true.
comedy
Yeah,
because people forget the Universal Monster movies were
yeah,
actually horror movies.
yes,
And
that's
they're
true.
not scary by today's standards, but they were back then. And that was like one of the first attempts at a horror comedy because and what I really liked about that is they actually paid respect to the Universal Monster stories. It actually picks up exactly where the last Universal Monster movie ends. So it carried on the storyline, even though
Really?
it set it in Abbott and Costello world. Well, same universe, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because the one thing, yeah, Abbott Costello meet Frankenstein. I mean, who was in it? Bela Lugosi was in it
Yes,
as
Bela
Dracula.
Lugosi.
So yeah, and
Exactly.
I think was also Boris
Lon
Karloff, right?
Chaney Jr.
Lon
played
Chaney.
Wolfman. No, Boris Karloff did not appear in it. It was a different person playing the monster. I
Oh,
can't remember
okay.
the name, but it wasn't Boris Karloff.
It wasn't Boris Karloff.
No. But it continues. I think House of Dracula was the last one, and it picks up with those characters right into that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have only seen a handful of the Universal monster movies, and you're gonna probably lynch me. You're gonna lynch me for this one. I've only seen one of the Hammer horror films, and that was the
That's
1958 Dracula,
that's okay.
which
That's okay.
I really liked. I thought Peter Cushing was pretty based in that one, and I thought Christopher Lee was awesome as
Yeah,
Dracula. He chewed the scenes up like candy.
yeah, him and Bela Lugosi are probably the best two to ever play Dracula.
Yes, so. But yeah, so American Werewolf in London. So yeah, so because Landis was successful with, and I still haven't seen Kentucky Fried Movie, but I did see Animal House, and I'm in Chicago, so I've absolutely have seen the Blues Brothers. I mean, Blues Brothers is my favorite musical of all time.
Love the Blues Brothers.
So what's funny is I love how instead of having, I mean, Elmer, because he generally works with Elmer Bernstein. So Elmer Bernstein, who did I think he did the soundtrack for Animal House. I don't know if he did the soundtrack, the score for Blues Brothers, but he does the score for this movie alongside a rock and roll soundtrack that random songs that have the title Moon in it because werewolves, transform on the full moon and all that. So yeah,
He said he tried to fit as many Moon songs in this movie as he possibly could.
Yeah, so it was so funny. We hear 3 different versions of Blue Moon, and like the end of the movie. I'm skipping all the way to the end already. It's such a dark ending, but it's a dark ending. Everybody he's dead, and what's her name? Alex is just like. And then it cuts to credits. Bump it up, bump it up, bump it up, bump it up, do 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 do, blue moon. And I don't want to copyright, but yeah, I was like, whoa. I first I was like, whoa, what is this? And I'm guessing that was part of the humor. I think that was the cut was meant to be humorous or something. I don't know. Yeah. So there's a lot.
Well, it is a black comedy. This is a black comedy.
Yes, it is. But yeah, there's in the comedy and. Oh, well, the one thing that there was a big nod to, and I've noticed this with not just with I forgot their names, the two that begin the movie, but the 2 cops. There's a lot of Laurel and Hardy. There's a lot of there's a lot of Three Stooges type. Well, maybe not quite Three Stooges, but there's a lot of Laurel and Hardy type of humor gags in here. Like the 2 policemen, you have the inspector and you have Sergeant McManus, and Sergeant McManus is just the doctor, and I'll just see if I can skip to it right here. Perfect right here. He's the doctor's like, you want some tea? And the Sergeant McManus, the partner's like, yes. And then the inspector looks and he's like, no, I mean no.
Yeah,
The inspector's just such a dick. And then,
well, this is technically this is a Universal monster movie.
yeah, it is. Yeah, we get the Universal.
Yes, it's going off of that, like the Laurel Hardy, and it's sort of because what is how am I losing his name? I just know the director's name. You just said it, and
John Landis.
Yes, John Landis. He was a monster kid.
Yeah, I mean they mentioned the Wolfman quite a bit in this movie, just like Joe Dante did in the Howling.
Yes,
So
Joe Dante, him, huge monster kids. They are always on the Universal Monster box sets, giving special interviews and stuff. They grew up with that, so this is sort of his take on the Wolfman. And so that's where the sort of that comedy, once again, Abbott Costello, Lauren Hardy, that's sort of where that comedy comes in and from this movie.
Yeah. So we get this nice little scene here, and of course the doctor even funny shit, like he's like, oh, this person wants to talk to you, Roger or something wants to talk to you. He's like, tell him I'm dead, tell him it was an old war wound or something. And that's when he accidentally the Sergeant McMahon accidentally knocks down a whole bunch of those like bedpans or something, those metallic bedpans. And he just picks them up, and he's just like, he's like Bart, like I got the Bart Simpson I didn't do it vibe, or just like, oh, it just didn't happen, forget, or like Rick Moranis, just forget what you saw and everything. So but yeah, so that was one. And then of course the beginning where we see the moorlands right here. So I was like, what is exactly our moorlands? So they're basically highlands in like Yorkshire, or in the Yorkshire area of England. I think it's in England.
Yes.
Or Wales. I think that this was filmed in Wales. I don't know for sure, but we get this nice. It's a very creep. We get from this image alone, because of the because of the weather and all that. They decided to shoot this during like when the weather was at its worst, like right before spring.
The atmosphere.
Yeah, so like looking at this, like that bad shit's gonna happen. And unlike Joe Dante, there's no fog machine here. At least I don't think there is. At least I don't. So
no, I don't think so.
But we get this little chicken coop car, and when he opens it, I'm just gonna do this. There they are, and this is how like a comedy usually starts. They usually start in some weird position, like the Stooges. Like if you ever watch the Stooges, there was one time where they were sleeping on awning, and it was morning. They put the awning, they open the awning up, and the Stooges roll off and fall like a story down.
Yeah,
they're like, "What are you rolling in your sleep for?" And then they poke each other in the eyes and all that. So, but here we just see these two dudes who are backpacking, and they're just like. Yeah, we hitched a ride. This is where we meet our heroes.
College students backpacking through Europe, just getting in themselves in weird situations.
Okay, so this guy is David on the left, and then this guy on the right is Jack. So then they're fish out of water. They're New Yorkers who decided to go backpacking in Europe, and now they just happen to be in this part of the UK. So. So yeah, we get to they talk, guy talk, hey, we remember that chick? Yeah, I totally fuck her, I totally do that. She's what a body, dude, what a body, bro. So it's just we get to they have a chemistry there, which is always really best cool friends. To see. Yeah, best friends, and I love this shot right here. I love this this view right here. The shots
are amazing in this.
Who did the cinematography? Let me see.
I don't know.
Robert Painter. I've never heard of this guy.
He's pretty good though.
Yeah, pretty good. So get this. So we get this. They walk over to this. Bar right here. What the hell was the bar called? It's called the Slaughtered Lamb.
Slaughtered Lamb. Yeah.
Slaughtered Lamb. You go to a town, a quiet town with lambs, and then you go to a bar called the Slaughtered Lamb, and then you walk in, and everybody just looks at you like look at this. It's like very, very unwelcoming. You're in this very unwelcoming situation right here, and they're like, "Why are you here?" and all that. And they're like, "Do you have anything to eat?" And they're like, "No." "Do you have anything to drink?" "Do you have anything warm to drink?" No. "Like coffee?" "No." "Hot chocolate?" We have tea. Can you give us that?" No. I'd have to make it.
Yeah. And then everybody's just like staring at him.
Yeah. And then they talk about the Alamo. And this I don't know if he's the owner of the ball. This dude right here on the right. But he tells a little joke about like, you know, about a plane and about throwing like there's weight, there's there's too much weight on the plane and all that, and so like the Englishman jumps off, they throw out all the luggage, and there's still too much weight, and the American says, remember the Alamo, and he throws the Mexican out, then they all laugh. I was like, wow.
It's good humor. I mean, we don't get jokes like that nowadays because everybody's so sensitive.
Nope. And then of course, you know, this is it right here.
Remember the Alamo.
And they ask a question. They're like, what is this pentagram on the wall, if I can find it right there? And then the guy, the son or something, is like, you made me miss.
Yeah, I never miss.
And then they're like, okay, maybe we better go. Like, but I'm hungry. And then they're like, there's no food here for you. Yeah, look at that. Look at that face right there. So I mean, this was a good tension. I mean, there was no music. There was no music in this part whatsoever.
Nice building up to the point where they leave. Yeah.
And the thing was that, and the other thing that was very foreboding was when the woman, the bartender, I'm assuming it's the wife, she's like, you can't let them go now. It's a full moon. It's a full moon. So what is the secret? What is this mystery that's having everybody has everybody in a what do you call it? Everybody on edge and all that.
Yeah.
And they refuse to say. They refuse to say. So there's the trope of, oh, this town has a secret or whatever.
It's how do you say that? An unspoken secret amongst the townspeople that they know, but they don't speak it.
Come on, somebody's got to do it. Okay, well, please leave. God be with you. God be with you. Stay on the road. Avoid the moors. Yeah. And of course, you know, like a good horror movie, they don't listen or they don't realize that
where did the road go?
Where did the road go? And then it starts to rain. So rain once again is a sign of even more foreboding here. Yeah. And then they're like, we have to go. You have to go help him. You have to go help him.
Like, and everything. What was that?
Yeah, what was that?
We should go back, David.
And this is where it gets. This is practically almost the box art right here. And they're like, uh-oh, what is that? So we don't see the creature. That's the thing is we don't. Mm-hmm. They see the creature and we don't see it. So that's like the mystery right there. So we get like very, very quick, shots of the attack and all that, but we don't really get a good look at the creature until the very end of the movie.
Right.
So we get to see a transformation sequence, excuse me, but we don't really get to see the creature. I'm wondering if that was really that was under wraps, like the way the Alien and Aliens look was under wraps for in the production. I
think the Jaws effect, less and more, where Spielberg couldn't show the shark, so he did it by the POV and stuff. So by the time you get to see the shark, or in this case, the wolf, it's all the more exciting because you know that it's coming. You know there's a monster, you know. Yeah,
and of course you get the usual the trope. You know, they're running from an evil creature, and then somebody trips. You know,
always. What do they always trip over? There's never nothing
like that right there. They trip and they're like, oh, okay. Oh, there's it's a little bit of levity. He fell, ha ha ha, and then once after the levity happens, he doesn't even help his friend. There you go. So we got a very quick shot of the werewolf right here, and so what's his name? Jack gets mauled. Like I want to find that. I want to find that still of him. That honestly, when I first saw this, that scared the hell out of me. Just like that really quickly. I was scared out of my mind when I saw the mauling and all that.
Yeah.
He's like, help me. God damn it. Help me.
I mean, it is. I mean, for a dark black comedy, it is scary. I mean, Landis will always try to say, no, why are you getting scared for? It's a comedy. They're not. It's scary. He knows he's just being facetious.
Yeah.
What's
funny is he had a hard time selling this because they're like the producers and when he was trying to pitch this earlier, they were like, this is too scary to be a comedy, but this is too funny to be a horror or something. This is too funny to be a horror. So they're like, we're like, we don't know if this is going to work. So,
well, like what they say with horror comedies, I believe they say if you're going to do a horror comedy, you have to balance it right. You can't have like 90% comedy and whatever horror. You have to have like 80% horror and then the rest comedy. It has to outweigh the other. You can't have more comedy than horror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so when he gets up, so he got tackled too. He got scratched, I believe, or I don't. Yeah, he got scratched by the werewolf. Well, this is the dude. This is the werewolf. Yeah. He reverted to a human once those bar dudes rescued him and all that.
Shot him up,
and then 3 weeks later he wakes up in a hospital in London. So I got a question. Why didn't they kill him?
Because like when he goes back, when they vested the guy goes back into the bar and the police captain or whatever investigated him. They wanted to give him a chance. It's no longer their problem. They saved him. They did their good deed. It's just left up to him to do what he's got to do now.
Okay,
I believe that's why. I believe when they tell him that's sort of what they're hinting at. Like, we saved the kid. Isn't that enough? We don't need to take more. We don't need to do more than that.
Because obviously they know the secret, and they saw the marks. Like they know he's gonna eventually turn into another creature.
It's like jumping ahead, and it's why that one guy goes out and talks to the police officer behind everybody's back and tells him, like he's still feeling guilty. He knows what's going to happen. That's why he's telling the police officer is like, look, this guy's good. Something's going to happen. You need to take care of this. Yeah.
And I like how it opens. So like he's out, and then we get these two nurses right here, and they're both they both are attractive. This one especially, Alex, is Gooder, really Jenny Gooder, and she's just like, she's asking about him. She's like, they're supposed to be working. Like the doctor comes and is like, you ladies should be doing your job right now, not
he's a Jew.
Not gawking.
He's circumcised.
Yeah. Yeah, so like they're enjoying themselves, and he comes in and he's like, ladies.
I'm sorry, it was the doctor that goes investigates, not the cop.
Yeah, the doctor. The cops don't. The inspector doesn't give a shit. Like they're like you're. I love what happens to that inspector at the end. I would like to see that coming. It was, but yeah, like she's like, she's like, I just like how she's asking about him to everybody, especially the orderly guy who is just like, bringing the trays into the room. He's like, I'm just an orderly. All I do is push shit. I laughed when I heard that. So, but yeah, like, so he's like, it's been 3 weeks. That's a good, nice looking scar, by the way.
Yeah.
And look who shows up. Frank Oz. Frank Oz of all people. This is like the one scene he's in. So did he did he do any other? Did he do anything? Like, did he work on any effects or anything? Is that why he?
No, I don't think he does. I just think he was really good friends with Landau.
I mean, he was in the Blues Brothers. He was the guy behind the wall. He was the guy behind the screen in the jail in the beginning. And like, they had to force poor John Belushi to stand behind the line. He's just like this. He's leaning so far just so he can sign the paper, release paper. And
it's like you said, George Lucas was in that. They were all friends. George Lucas, Frank Oz, Joe Dante. My God, why can't I remember his name tonight? It's like keeps Landis.
John Landis.
I don't know why I cannot remember his name, and I love John Landis too. But they were all friends. They were all together. Spielberg, all of them were all
Spielberg.
Together.
Spielberg was in City Hall. He didn't have the mustache, but he was in City, or I think maybe he did have a mustache. I don't remember now. But he was in City Hall. He was in Chicago City Hall at the end of the Blues Brothers. I never realized it was him until I looked it up. I was like, wait, that is Spielberg. Yeah. Everything. So,
but Landau and Spielberg had a falling out after Twilight Zone.
Because of
what happened. They're no longer friends.
Yeah, that's it's a shame. It's a shame what happened with that production. But I like how nerdy Frank Oz is just like, he's like Mr. What Mr. Kessler, just calm down. Like, dude, he's in bed. He has trauma. He's been
he
traumatically
just woke
attacked,
up.
dude. You have no self-awareness, dude.
It's
No
still only
way.
been a day to him, even though it's been 3 weeks.
And the police, I gave them permission to investigate you. I was just like, you bastard. But hey, whatever. So, but yeah, so that I think that's pretty much. And of course, we do get an appearance by Miss Piggy and Kermit in when they're watching the TV and all that. So
Yeah.
we get to see some TV action. So we get to see some, some stuff within this world, the TV with where was on TV in this world. So, and I think this is pretty much where we get into the dream sequences now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the part we already kind of covered with
the detective and the...
Tell them I'm dead. You ever do that just like to tell like, hey, I don't want to talk to this person. Tell them I'm away. Tell them
I'm gone. I'm not. I don't want to answer that.
And so they don't believe him. So they're like, oh, you were attacked by this maniac dude. And we saw the guy. He's like, no, we were attacked by an animal. And what's funny is the sergeant believes him, and then the inspector looks at him. He's like, no, I meant to say no, that doesn't happen. No, because he's like, how could a maniac take on two grown men and all that?
Yeah.
So and he's right. I gotta give Sergeant McMahon some credit, Yeah. And we get this. Yeah, here it is. We get with this nice. Now, is this like a Steadicam sequence where they're wearing it and they're running?
I believe so.
Or they just turn up the speed or something. Oh, we get this.
Running.
We get to see naked. Here we go.
Oh, I was gonna say not Jenny Agutter yet. We get to see her naked later.
Yeah, yeah. So we get a lot of naked David Naughton. So what's funny is I didn't realize it, but like they tried to the studio tried to have Landis hire John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd to play the two buddies in the beginning, and he's like, no, we're gonna go with some unknowns. I think that was a good idea.
Yeah,
because I mean,
if I remember correctly, I think he was almost a pop star, had a song maybe. If I remember correctly,
David Naughton. Yeah,
Naughton.
I heard he was a singer. I don't know what he's known for.
I think that's what made him famous. Is like he sort of had a hit song. It was like nothing huge, but I think that's what got him into the acting. No
wonder why the nurses want. No wonder why Jenny, what's her name, wants to fuck him and all that. Yeah. So we get this. We get a couple of interesting dream sequences. Oh, this part's funny.
Yeah.
So this little kid's like, no. She's like asking him, you want to do this? No. You like your comic books? No. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, this random kid walks up, takes a comic book. Okay. Random kid takes a comic book and spanks her. See if I can find it.
It's good. They were a little cheeky back in the day, man. They did things.
Yeah, no.
These
Gen Xers, those dirty little Gen Xer kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see if I'm trying to see if I can get by the second right here.
They don't know good content when good quality entertainment, not content, entertainment.
Yeah.
When they see it.
And this is the part where she's like, "Oh, how's the patient? Is he eating? Is he doing stuff?" He's like, "Lady, I just push shit. I'm an orderly. I just push shit right here.
Yeah.
Lay off me."
Yeah.
And of course, she's just like, "Oh, look at me." Or she's like, "Oh, I get to talk to you. Hey, you're gonna eat your food, right?" And then she sits next to him, she starts feeding him. And I'd be like, you know what? That's I'd welcome that too. I'd welcome that too.
Can I stay extra few days?
Yeah, and let's look each other in the eyes while you're feeding me too. Yes. Let's initiate this little sexy time. And then we get this little another dream sequence right here. So he sees himself in bed, and then we get that creepy
right there, yeah,
jump scare.
great.
Like, is he
That's so
like? I'm like,
good.
what is this? Like, is this supposed to be him as a vampire? Or is this like
That's the wolf.
pre?
That's like the
That's the
pre-wolf.
wolf.
What it is like
Wolf.
he's having all these dreams building up to the full moon of what's that's the dreams you get when you become a werewolf and stuff.
Yeah.
You see the darkness that's ahead.
Yeah, I still have not. Still have not seen the Wolfman. I still have not seen all the old,
I love the
Wolf
Wolfman.
movies. I've only seen this, and I've seen. I actually, I actually watched American Werewolf from Paris a couple years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, remember that movie that
Yeah,
nobody
that's
remembers?
bad.
See, everybody remembers this movie. This movie is
Yeah, because this one is great. The American Werewolf in Paris sucks.
like that wasn't even a horror movie. That was like an action movie.
It's
Honestly,
bad. It's bad.
so
And
yeah,
CGI wolves are horrible.
all right, but I want to. Okay, so this is the doctor here, and he's trying to get some answers and all that. And I think the doctor is skeptical about. I think he starts to kind of think maybe he actually did get attacked by an animal or something.
Yeah, he starts to like think that maybe there's something more than what is being told.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
There, Frank Oz and Jim Henson. When Jim Henson was still with us.
Yes.
So, this part.
Oh yeah, this is
what was with this part. This was the most batshit crazy. I completely forgot about this, and this has nothing to do with the movie. Like, this is just another dream.
Well, the Landis is Jewish, and this character is Jewish, and so he sort of put this in there because of like the horror stories that he was told from World War II about the Jewish people from his parents. So this is a nod to this horror story, like because
were his parents the Holocaust survivors?
No, but I think it's from his grandparents or whatever, because they would tell him the horrors of the Holocaust. They would tell him the horrors of the Holocaust. So he decided to use it sort of like that to make a frightening scene in this movie, because David's Jewish and he's turning into this wolf and he's starting to have these dark dreams because it's the foreboding of the darkness that's in him that's about to come out and everything. And so that's like this. He decided to use those stories that he learned to make this frightening scene.
Yeah, and so like you hear this knock on the door. It's like, somebody get the door. Wait, sorry.
And that's why they're werewolf SS officers.
Yeah, just like that. Remember, what was it, Death Proof or something, or the Grindhouse?
Yeah,
they had those fake trailers. This was one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, this part, yeah. This was terrifying. Yeah, he has the knife in his throat, and he's gonna get his throat slit.
Yes.
And they just kill everybody, and they shoot up the chocolate chips. Who shoots up chocolate chips? Look at the chocolate chips right here. Like that's
just wrong on every level.
First world problems, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
First world problems. And they cut his throat. Eesh, right there. Good makeup. And so
you can't beat practical effects, man.
No, you can't. Yeah, but this was terrifying. This was terrifying as hell. Yeah, like I can't imagine. Like not only there was, obviously Holocaust, but like even earlier than that, like Jewish people in Eastern Europe were like subjected to like pogroms and everything, where they were their villages would be burned. I mean, if you've seen an American Tale, the beginning of the movie is a pogrom.
Yeah.
And that's why the Mauskowitz have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the perpetrators of the pogrom had cats, and the cats were the terrorists basically terrorizing the humans, and then you had the cats terrorizing the mice in that movie. Yeah. But it's just it goes way back. I mean, it's not didn't just start with the Nazis and all that. So
yeah, this was just like they would tell him stories about how they would bust into their homes and take the families and stuff, and that was like that's what the scene was designed, because that scared him, so he was going to scare you with an example of that, but albeit supernatural. Yeah,
and I think that's great. Like just like as like when I edit stuff and I want to be scary, I have to do. I try to put myself into the positions. Like if what scares me, I'll try to translate that to the viewer. Now, the viewer might not necessarily feel the same, but hey, I can only do the best I can. So,
right.
but yeah, so we got the we got the, okay. So he's getting a good breakfast. I mean, like I've been freaking obsessed with just toast and butter. Like toast and butter is like just pure magic. And if you have some
Buffalo.
some good jelly and all that, perfect. And yeah, look who shows up. So apparently this idea came from John Landis was doing Kelly's Heroes back in the 70s, and he saw like I think they were in I forget where exactly they were. Let me look. They were in I forget they were in Yugoslavia, I think, and they were doing some sort of weird ceremony when they were burying people, and like they didn't want people to come back to life. And the first thing I thought was Pet Cemetery, but apparently when he saw that, he was thinking, I could never face the dead. And that's where this idea comes from, where his buddy comes back to life, or his buddy's alive, and he sees his buddy, and it's something that he couldn't face, that terrified him. That's why he had this in the movie.
Yeah.
So apparently, what is the curse again? So as long as there's werewolves, they'll walk to Earth. They'll walk the Earth for eternity.
He has to end the werewolf line, because like he's at the moment he's the last of whoever that werewolf line is, and his friend wants him to kill himself so that he doesn't take more lives and all that. He wants him to get end it now before it becomes worse.
So is he just like is he just like? Is that like his soul and only he can see him?
It's just like a ghost. It's like a spectral vision for him only because, as the werewolf, you've stepped into the world of supernatural. So now he's a supernatural being. And so he's seeing this ghostly figure of his friend who's basically coming there to warn him, hey, listen, you're going to be a werewolf. You're going to kill people. Yeah. And the only way to do it is to kill yourself. The only way to end it so that you don't make more werewolves and so that you don't kill anybody, because you're the last of the line right now of that werewolf, whoever turned him to then he turned him. Stop it now before it can get any worse.
So apparently there was an additional part of the scene where he eats the toast and the toast falls out of his neck or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they pulled that off. It's interesting. I didn't see that. I'm curious how they pulled that off though.
Yeah.
But I like how what's his name? Ted. Jack. I like how Jack, like you see him like I think 2 other times in the movie. I like how he changes. Like he gets more and more decrepit, more decayed, and all that. Like I don't even think that was a costume. I think that was all like animatronic at the end when they're in the porn theater.
Yeah.
But like I just love how it changed, and like he's like, I want to introduce you. Okay, I'm skipping. Okay, I don't want to skip to the end. But I like how they just kill yourself. Just end yourself. Like this is very like once again, this is like dark comedy, this dark shit and all that.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, and of course we find out he's being released and all that, but I guess I forget why he's sticking around. Maybe because
it's easy why he's sticking around. Look at him.
Yeah.
That's why he's sticking around.
And she's just like, you know what? I'm not in the habit of taking in strange men. So I love how she said that to him, and he's like, yeah, we're definitely there's definitely going to be some sexy time going down.
You're taking me in all the way.
and look at these punkers. I think the punk rock was
punk rock in the 80s in the UK, man. Sex Pistols.
I swear, I swear the one dude in the I swear that the one young dude in the bar in the beginning kind of looked like what's his name, Johnny Rotten a little bit without all the stuff on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so he's screwing around, and then they look at him like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" And yeah, just like whatever. Like look at that hair and all that. There's just like time to grow up. And look, we get a nice there's a little Casablanca little poster there. Just look at I was like finding some interesting little Easter eggs, here. Just come in and
she got a nice home. She lives very far away from the hospital apparently, but she's got a very nice home.
Yeah. And I think this is where this is it.
Yeah,
Sexy time.
You might
Sexy
not want to
time.
go any further because it does show a little boobage.
Side boobage.
A little bit. And a little nipple too.
And
So
a
you gotta be
nipple.
careful.
And we get look who comes back.
Yeah.
I like how the camera rotates. Like that. And there he is. He's like, dude, you got to kill yourself, man. Like, seriously.
Very effective.
This is a little bit. Look at the lighting here. Like this looks like a nice little creepy shot right here. He's just like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Come on. And again, there's a little Mickey Mouse right there.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse thing.
And I forget exactly what they say, but yeah. And here we got here they're in bed together because why not? There you go.
Of course. and then where the doctor goes investigates.
Yeah, the doctor goes and investigates, and they can't really get anything out of. He's just, it's very awkward, but he's still being very polite and professional, very British. But he's like, "Where are you from?" It's like, "I'm from London." Oh, I guess they look down on Londoners, city.
Yeah, they're
city
the country folk. They're country folk. He's city folk. Why would they trust him?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, what's this red? What's this little pentagram mean?"
Yeah,
I don't know. They're just like, "You gotta leave, dude. You gotta leave." And I think he's drinking a Guinness. I was looking. I took notice of that dark beer.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why this guy, like you were asking earlier, like, why didn't they stop? Because they did their deed and they knew, but they didn't want to get involved any further. And that's why he's telling him, because it's eating away at him.
Yeah, and they're just like, we shouldn't have done this. We shouldn't have allowed him to go and all that. And and then I don't know if he's like the son. It seems like he's the son, and then the mom is behind the bar, and that's the dad. I don't know if they're a family or something. That's what I was thinking when I was watching. It's like plausible. Yeah, I mean, we don't know how they're related. If they're related, I'm assuming the bald dude's the owner of the bar. I'm assuming, or maybe the wife is. I don't know. Who cares? You never know. You never know.
Never know.
And look at the handsome David Naughton wearing his New York University shirt, and he locks himself out because this is a horror movie. Why not?
Why not? Oh,
and
it's getting close.
Yep. Oh yeah, the one thing that the animals, the cats know that there's a beagle that knows, and let's see, and the little girls are laughing at them and everything. Yeah, right here. There's a dog. I think it's a beagle. I don't know. Maybe it's not a beagle.
Little chunky thing.
Yeah. And those little girls made me think of the Shining a little bit. Just, I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're twins and they're
forever
and ever and ever. Okay, this part I liked. He's just chilling. He's just chilling, watching TV, and we find out this woman is like she's a model and she's now like a seductress or something. And we get this, and there of course there's more Disney stuff. There's Minnie Mouse right here. So,
news of the world.
And here he's laying in bed. We hear, "I see the bad moon rising," and of course they had to play that song. That's it's so funny. Like you get all this upbeat music, and he's just like, "I'm not hungry." He goes, he's walking around. He's just walking around and like I'm not. He thinks he's hungry. He's not hungry.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of cuts to her and the little kid again. He's just like, no. And we get this nice little shot of the moon right here.
Yeah.
Just going to the moon, and he's reading a book. And here's the thing, and we're hearing that. We're hearing blue moon. He's like, Jesus. Let me get right here.
Yeah, be careful when he rips his clothes off here.
That.
This is the greatest werewolf transformation in the history of werewolf transformation.
Yeah,
Howlings is great, but this is the best.
Yes, this is. I mean, just look at this, and I think that I think we said this on the Howling stream. They tried to get Rick Baker, and this movie already secured him, so they had to go with.
Rick Baker was actually signed on to do the Howling, but then he had already confirmed for this, so he had to be taken away, and then Rick Bottin did the Howling.
Yeah, didn't Stan Winston also do work on the Howling as well? Maybe. I know they both of them worked on the Thing together.
Yeah.
Oh, who cares? We're not talking about that. But yeah, this shot right here, like like he's sweating, and then you see as like they continually, you know,
it's an amazing scene.
Look at this.
Yeah,
Look
they
at
molded
this.
his whole body and to make all these.
So what did they? Do you know how they did this? Like, did they like stretch this or something, or what did they do
It's just
to
all
expand this?
they molded his hand and then they put things inside of the prosthetic things that they made just make it stretch out. So,
Oh, man butt.
And then you get like with the hair, when the hair comes out, that's actually reversing the footage because they actually pulled the hair. How does it go? Because it like pops out. Yeah, they just pulled the hair out and then they reverse it so it looks like it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course this is iconic.
Yes.
Oh
Great.
Man.
Great.
Look at that. Look at that.
Right.
Blue moon. It's such a somber blue moon.
Yeah.
And of course, I had to take the picture. I had to use on the thumbnail. I used some words like this.
Yeah.
Full moon, everybody, and this is where the horror movie begins.
Yeah.
So we see these random people walking about. They're dead. They're dead. And then the bastard, the poor bastard husband comes out. He's dead too. Poor wife.
Can't believe I'm related to that guy.
You are?
No. Look at my screen.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I saw a moon. I heard blue moon. I saw a moon, and I had to transform.
There you go. Okay, this poor bastard's like, what's going on here? Yeah. What are you doing? Oh shit! Look at that! Look at that effect.
I know. So I mean, you can't blame the you can't be mad at the special effects because they're great. The practical effects are awesome.
Oh my god! Like this is like next level.
Yes, that's why they're classics.
That's why. And I think this is where like he's instructing her to like it's like he's like, you're gonna have to bring him to me or something. I think he tells her about about his suspicion that what's his name is possibly a werewolf and all that. And they're like, oh, call the place, and they call, and he's not answering, but she doesn't believe it, obviously.
Yeah. And
of course we get the three bums. We get the three bums right here.
Yeah, the poor bums. They always get it.
They're like, who are you? What's going on here? What's going on here?
I gotta say the one coming up after the bums, the train guy, that's the most frightening.
Yes, because what I like is you hear him coming. You hear the grunts.
This is the most frightening.
You hear the grunts. He's just like, what's going on here? Is this a joke and all that? Your typical trope and all that.
He's the only one in the subway there. Nobody's around. It's dark. There's something in it. This is the most frightening of the kills that he does. Yeah.
So he tries to get away. So we still don't see him. We see we still see the werewolf's point of view right here. Like right here.
I mean, that is a great shot. And then, I'll be honest, this is the only werewolf movie that I don't mind that the werewolf is on all four legs. I prefer that's the one leg up, if you will, that the Howling has on this movie is their werewolves are like the wolf man. They stand there bipedal. They stand on two legs. That's how a werewolf should look. I'm not a big fan of like the werewolf walking on all fours like a wolf, like a giant wolf. But this is like the one that's done the best.
I think so too.
Yes.
And this is the first time we get a glimpse of the werewolf itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here. Right there.
Right there, yeah, when it comes in. Yeah.
Hey,
see, I mean, I don't... yeah. But I don't mind that in this movie, but I prefer my Wolfman to stand on two legs.
Okay. I think in the Howling, I think they were on two legs, I believe, weren't they?
Yes, that's what I said. The Howling's werewolf designs, when they're fully werewolf, is actually a better design than this werewolf.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So this guy, he's dead. Yep, right here.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is the most frightening kill that he does.
I like how it cuts to a lion. So you hear the roar of the wolf, and then and we find out we're at the London Zoo. We're at the London Zoo, and he wakes up, and yeah, he's in a den of literally in a den of wolves and all that. And unlike Wheel of Time season 2, wolves don't bark. Sorry, I had to take a shot at the Wheel of Time. So terrible show.
Never watched it.
Oh, some nudity. So we get some comedy right here. He's trying to get back and all that. Whoops.
Yep.
So he steals his kids' balloons. And then he runs past and steals this woman's coat right there. And the kid's like, that American stole my balloons.
Oh, yeah, his mom whips his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, right here. That damn American stole my balloons.
An American man stole my balloons.
Back in the day when parents didn't believe their kids. You know, that was the good old days.
Poor kid.
Then then we find out, there's a series of grisly murders that happened the day before. And we get this nice little shot of feet, because we just have to have feet. he's wearing that woman's coat, and the guy's looking at him like, what's the matter with you,
my son?
Just like, oh, hi, and all that. So we get some good levity right there. And then he gets back and he's like, I don't remember what happened. And then, of course, the doctor's just like, hey, bring him here. We need to, he obviously figures it out that, that David is the werewolf and all that. So it's like, bring him here. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm the nurse. I'm dumb. I'm hot, but I'm dumb. Yeah. A little more sexy time. It's like, oh, come on, really? So one thing we get, and this is the same thing I talked about last time with, when I covered The Fly for this. He's basically like, I feel better than I've ever felt before. And I just want to, let's have some sex. Well, come on, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, and this is where it gets dark right here, is, he realizes, oh, he's the one that did these. He finds out about the grisly murders, and he realizes he's the one that did it.
Yeah.
And he starts trying to, he tries to run away, and then he runs into a cop. And what's so funny is he says all these things that would get him arrested now in Britain.
Yeah.
Like, he says Prince Charles is gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He says the Queen is, I forget what he says about the Queen, but he makes fun of the Queen. And I don't even know if he took a dig at Margaret Thatcher, because she was the prime minister at the time.
Some of the stuff he said would get him arrested nowadays, big time.
Yeah, and so he calls the police officer like a prick or something like that. And the police officer's like, I'm gonna have to arrest you if you're gonna do this. He's like, yeah, I want you to arrest me, you idiot. And then he's like, no, I'm not gonna arrest you. Screw you.
Yeah.
And then everybody's just like, come on. He's like, I said some bad shit. And they're like, oh, we don't care. That was, like nowadays.
Just a weird dude. Get out of here.
Yeah. So I thought that was great. He's just like, he's just like, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you. This once again, I even though this came up before The Fly, there was a similar scene in The Fly where he tells Gina Davis, like, I'm gonna hurt you. Leave me be.
Yeah. And
everything. And we get this. I thought this was another heartbreaking moment. Okay, we didn't quite get there yet. But yeah, hey, look, it's the inspector again.
Yeah.
Inspector and Sergeant McManus. I forget what they say. Don't care. But here is where it gets emotional. Here he calls his sister.
Yeah.
And his sister's just like, his sister's being his sister, little kid and all that.
Yeah, just being smarty.
He's just like, is anybody home? She's like, no. And he's like, tell them I love, tell my parents I love them. I love you too. And he says, same for your brother and all that. And it's just like, and then he hangs up and all that.
Yeah.
And
it's sad. It's a sad moment.
Yeah. And then he tries, but he can't do it. He tries to off himself, tries to slit his wrists and all that. And he just can't get himself to do it. So he's just like, you know what? screw it, I'm gonna go to a porn theater. Let's go to a porn theater, you know.
Well, his friend is over there waiting on him. So
Yeah, so I have to make sure I gotta make sure don't get. Oh, here we go. Here he is. Look how
so
he
good.
like. I'm getting like Evil Dead vibes.
Yeah.
I'm getting like what was that one movie? What was that one movie that has like that type of face on the box? And I forget what it was. That one horror movie.
There's tons of them like that.
Yeah,
So, you gotta be specific here.
I know.
Like a lot of horror movies have that skeleton face on their cover.
Yeah, especially with the way those eyes like are
Yeah.
just like completely bugged and all that. And he's just like, "Hey, I want you to meet your victims. I want you to meet your victims." And look, and then there's the guy in the subway, and they're all telling him like all the different ways to off himself. They're like, "Oh, we should get run over by a bus or." Yeah. Oh shoot! We got some sexy. Not quite long enough. I don't think this will get hit or anything. But
you might have to cut that scene out.
So, and he's just like, in this poor bastard here is like, he's like, leave me, and he starts his transformation again.
Yeah, he's like, some of us are trying to watch these two people,
and then he's dead, and then the wolf is out, and
that's a great scene when he comes out and bites the head off the cop, the body.
Yeah.
That is a great scene. I love that, and the head goes rolling, and this like the whole bus crash and everything.
Yeah, that's look at this.
I love this scene.
Look at everybody's getting hit by cars and all that.
It's so over the top, like because the wolf shows up, and then it's like he doesn't even really kill most of these people.
No,
honestly, he just kills a couple cops, and then like everybody else kills themselves.
Yeah,
it's so crazy and over the top. I love it. It's just insane.
Yeah, like everybody just freaks out. Yeah, Salty. I know you saw that too. I know. He gave me a super sticker. Nice.
Super sticker, 99 cents. That's for the boomers.
There you go. But yeah, they like here. This is called Piccadilly. This place is called Piccadilly Circus, and apparently, so what Landis had to do to shoot here is he brought like the leaders, of the town here, and he screened the Blues Brothers, and because of that, they were willing to give him 2 days to shoot all this. So,
yep,
this is pretty cool. I kind of like this little sequence right here. I want to see if I can get see if I find the
police officer gets his head ate off.
I want to see the decapitation. Where's the decapitation?
It's a great freaking scene.
I don't want to do it too long. But yeah, everybody's freaking out. They're doing the that guy's dead. Okay, I don't want to do that.
We're going back too far.
Yeah.
There, you're getting close.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. Head.
Just coming by. Everybody just loses their cool and just destroys everything. That's why I love it. It's so chaotic, and it's funny because that's where the dark humor comes in, because it's like they're all going super nuts over this giant werewolf, and he doesn't kill but maybe like 2 people. They all just kill themselves and go crazy.
It's just like everybody just goes fucking nuts right here.
Right. It's just like honestly, this is probably something that would happen. That's what makes it sort of funny, is because it's like if you saw a werewolf tearing off somebody's head in the middle of Piccadilly Circus, people are going to go nuts and start just going crazy. Yeah, there
he goes. Apparently, yeah, there's Sergeant McManus. He's just like, I'm alive at least. Hey, my dick of an inspector's gone, thank God. And yeah, they have the wolf. They have David cornered in the alley and all that. What's her name tries to appeal to his humanity, and she manages to get through somehow. The doctor can't, and
it's because he loved her. It's the power of love. Regardless, she loved it and calmed him down long. And taming the beast, love tamed the beast long enough so he could be killed.
Yeah, and yeah, like right here, like she's. I don't know if she like. I swear to God, she was in the line of fire. So how did she not get hit? That's my one issue with this.
They're good sharpshooters, and plus it's very reminiscent of King Kong. Beauty killed the beast.
Yeah. And so like she's like trying to appeal to him, and of course doesn't quite work, and then the moment he tries to attack, they shoot him dead.
Technically, I think that's because she did get through to him, and he knew he had to die. So the only way he knew he was going to be killed with all the cops there is that, like, yeah, he knows he loves her, so he knows if he lunges at her, they'll shoot him. That way, he's not killing himself, and they'll kill him.
Okay, I can buy that.
Because he loved her and she loved him, and she got through to him, and that's like he knows it, like he sees it. That's him. That's David taking control, not the wolf.
Yeah,
that's why he lunges, because he knows he has to die.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he just couldn't take his life. So, what's the next best way to do it? Let's do something that forces others to shoot you or to take you down.
It's like he knew it. So.
Yep. So somehow she was out of their line of sight. I
They're
don't know.
Sharpshooters, man. They're shooting around her.
A magic bullet just there you go.
Bloom.
Blue moon.
Throw out the blue one now, because it's truly like a sad, depressing moment, because like of everything they just literally went through.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get this song. It's like it's a upbeat, happy song.
Yeah, I'm just like, you're just like, what the hell? Okay, like they're making faces. You hear the cops are coming and all that.
Yeah, and then the song comes in.
Boom, 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 dun, 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 dun. Oh, this is a fun movie. This is a fun movie to cover, man. So, it's just, it's a fun, like we said, it's a fun horror comedy that John Landis always wanted to do and all that. So
yeah,
we got this, and I really just want to sing this. Blue moon, boom, 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 boom. Like this is such a hard song to sing. Like I was trying to sing along because I had the subtitles on. I was like, how do they do that? How do they do that? This is a solid movie with a pretty much unknown cast. I mean, there's really no big names here. I mean, David Naughton is. I don't think he was. He's more or less an unknown actor. I don't know about the doctor, the British doctor though.
Some of them are like more famous than Britain. And Jenny Agutter was sort of famous because she was from Logan's Run and.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Dr. Hirsch, John Woodvine, of course, everybody knows Frank Oz, but I don't think Frank Oz was known for Miss Piggy and obviously at this point Yoda. So, yes. I don't know about Inspector Villiers and Sergeant McManus, the Laurel and Hardy detectives. I don't know.
Excuse me. So, I mean, Griffin Dunn did go on to do After Hours with was that Scorsese? I think it was Scorsese. I can't remember.
After Hours, yeah. I haven't seen that one. Is it any good?
It's all right. It's not bad.
Okay. There's a lot of movies I still
It's a dark comedy itself.
Okay. All right. After Hours is what it's called. 80s. I think it's 80s movie, right?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So yeah. So we made it to the end. We made it all the way to the end, and it was gonna happen. We got tit. We got a boob. We got one boob. We got one boob.
Yeah. You got. Well, it was two boobs.
Well, two boobs. Lady. Two boobs, one lady. There you go.
two big handfuls, if you were.
So this was a lot of fun going through the movie like this. So you have any final thoughts before we conclude this?
I love this movie. This has always been one of my favorite movies. The Wolfman is my favorite Universal monster, so I'm a huge werewolf fan. I know everybody loves Dracula. I love Dracula too. I love vampires, but I've always been a huge werewolf fan, and there's very few werewolf movies out there compared to vampire movies. Yeah. And I think the original Wolfman, The Howling are like the top 3 werewolf movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this movie.
I still have to see the Wolfman. I gotta see the Wolfman. I'll make that point to do.
Well, you got to remember the Wolfman was like 1940 42, I want to say, maybe 43. So it's not like, I mean, you got to be able to handle an old black and white movie and the pace of them and stuff.
I've seen Dracula, I've seen The Mummy, I've seen Frankenstein, or is it Frankenstein? Oh, no, sorry, wrong movie. Wrong movie. No,
Yeah.
Gene Wilder. Yeah, but there's yeah. So yeah, man. Thanks for doing this. Anything you want to plug? Anything you got coming up?
At the moment, nothing I could think of, but you can go check out my channel. I got some videos on there. Some great ones. I released some stuff today, so I'm sure you can find it. Did a great video. Speaking of boobs, I did a great video called "Why Love and Nudity Are Important in Horror Movies."
Yes.
Check that video out on my channel. You might see some clips from this movie in there.
Yeah.
That's a great video. I'm really proud of that movie because most people's going to click on that because of the nudity part. It's not so much. It's not so much about the nudity, guys. Just watch the video and you see what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, definitely subscribe to Fanzine Vids. That's the channel, right? Fanzine Vids, not just Fanzine anymore.
Fanzine Vids, yes.
Okay, and definitely check out the video. So for me, next serial horror stream will be next Thursday, and it's gonna be I'll be covering The Exorcist with Alex of the White Cloaks, and this 4K is awful. This looks terrible.
That cover is horrible.
Yes, but yeah, I can't wait to watch this though. Can't wait to watch this again, and hopefully the transfer looks good. Well, it's Warner Brothers. Who knows? I don't know. Is Warner Brothers any good?
Yes, for the most part, they're good. Especially Warner Archive. From what I've heard, is actually a pretty good 4K scan. It's just with Warner Brothers, they give you bad artwork and they don't give you special features anymore. So
okay. All right, but other than that, yeah, I don't think, not much else to say other than thank you, Fanzine, once again. And for the sake of whoever's watching right now, I'll put the intro again. Did you like the intro, Fanzine? Did you feel like you're watching an old
it gives
horror?
You some nice ambience.
Yeah,
some great horror effects there, and like the way you do your voice, it was good.
Yeah, better than last season for sure. So, all right, everybody, have a good night and be careful on this Friday the 13th.
The end of the year is nigh. All that was alive and green now turns to a dark red, a bloody red. A red that activates our fear, making us all crazy. To properly channel this fear, we release it through the consumption of horror media. Nerdporial and a special guest will have a special discussion during this time to ward off evil for all its pain and pleasure. Nerdporial humbly welcomes you to Season 2 of the Serial Horror Chat.